Welcome to BGC. I'm going to tell a story about a guy in another country, Southeast Asia. And I'm not going to tell you what kind of a story it is right off the top. I was in a cafe one day in another country in Southeast Asia, long time ago. And there was a bunch of phalangs around, which means white European or Western guys. I mean, from here, you know, even Russia is Western. Okay, so we were sitting there, and I don't usually associate with expats at all. I mean, I left America to get away from them. And but I was sitting there, and I remember what it was. I was battling the mosquitoes in this outdoor cafe. In that country, everything is outdoor. You know, it's lucky if it has three sides, one side or two sides. You know, that's what everything is. And so everything's, you know, just welcome to come on in. The snakes and the centipedes and whatever. And I was sitting there, and I was battling the mosquitoes. Some guy says, "Hey, you need one of these," and he held up a thing that looks like a little I was going to say ping pong, no, badminton racket. And you turn it on, and you swing it at the mosquitoes, and if you contact one, it zaps them, kills them dead. It's kind of gratifying. It's fun. I had never seen him in my life. I don't know where the hell I had been. I'd never seen him before. And I said, "Oh my God, that's cool. Where can I get one?" And he said, "Well, you see all these guys walking around here. They're trying to sell stuff to expats. And so you just call one over, tell him what you want. He'll go get it, and he'll tack on a few baht, you know, for his trouble. He'll bring it to you. You pay him, and you got your device." And I said, okay. And I called over a guy, and actually he called over a guy, I think. And the guy came over. He was a youngish guy, very respectful, very polite. Simply wanted to help and make a few pennies, you know, for his family. That's all he wanted. And so he wanted to know what I wanted. And the other expat sitting there, there was a group of them, you know, drinking their daily infusion of beer. And they explained to the guy what I wanted. I wanted a mosquito paddle, you know, just like the one guy had. And the guy said, okay, you know, back 5 minutes. And so he ran over to whatever, some little shop, and got one, brought it back. And I was pretty new to Southeast Asia. I didn't know what the hell about anything. And so he holds out this thing, looked just like the other guy's thing. And he said, okay, it's X amount of money. I don't know, it seemed like a fair price to me. I hadn't gone pricing him because I'd never seen him before. And I was getting ready to pay him. And all the other expats at the beer table, they just erupted, and they said, no, don't pay for that, don't pay for that. And I said, what the hell, why not? Oh, Milky. It's always Milky. What do you want, Milky? How did you know it was me? Huh? How did you know that? So anyway, everybody, just give me 1 minute, Milky. I'll give you a little bit of food. Oh, you're just so crazy. Okay, 1 minute. Now all the rest of them will show up pretty soon. Anyway, the little crowd of half-drunk expat / sexpat guys were there. And they erupted and said, no, don't pay for that, don't pay for that. And I stopped, and I said, what's the problem? You know, the guy turned it on. He said, work good. Turned it on, swiped a few mosquitoes, and worked good. And oh, Milky. So he's gonna wait. He's gonna wait as long as it takes. and so I folded my wallet back up and I said, "Geez, what's the problem? What's the matter?" And they said, "Oh, it's too small. It's too small." We said a big one. You want a big one? And I didn't know a big one from a little one. And the guy, the seller, was just genuinely hurt because he had taken, probably a day's earnings to go buy that thing from whatever little Chinese store. And he was counting on getting that money back plus a few pennies. And here were these guys, these white expat guys, big fat beer guzzling, womanizing guys. And they were saying, no, it's no good, it's no good. Okay, well, in Southeast Asia, there's really no such thing as returns. You buy something, you own it, and that's just pretty much the way it is, unless you're at a big corporate chain store with American ties. That's about the only way you're going to get a refund. And even then, you're going to have to make a scene and scream and bang your fist on the counter, and pretty much you just don't get refunds. And that guy knew he was never going to get a refund on that thing from the little Chinese store. It might be 6 months before somebody ever asked him again for one of those mosquito swatters. And he just looked terrible. He just looked downtrodden. He looked sad. He looked like maybe his family wasn't going to eat that day. And I'm thinking, really, truly, maybe they weren't going to. So I wanted to pay him, and the other guys just said, no, you can't pay him. No, that'll encourage him to bring shit. And so I put my wallet back in my pocket, and the guy, I swear to God, he was close to tears. This is in a pretty poor area of another country. And he stood there and just looked at one guy from one to another to me, and he didn't know what to do. And he's looking at this mosquito paddle, and he didn't know what to do with that because he can't sell it and he can't return it. And it was really a sad situation, and I didn't know what to do. I was new, I was green, I just sat there. And eventually he slowly shuffled off with this paddle thing in his hand, and I thought, God, that was kind of an ugly little scene. And once he was out of earshot, all the guys at the table busted out laughing. And I said, what's funny? And they said, well, that guy had the biggest one they make. We didn't tell him that. But, we really screwed him over. We really effed him over. Isn't that funny? Ha ha ha, and everybody just laughing and clinking their glasses like this was a game that they do. And I don't know how many times they had done it in the past, 100, 1,000. Most of them were too old to ever leave that country, so I'm sure they spent their last years there just sitting around the bars doing that again and again and again and again and again, another 1,000 times, building up that karma. And I never saw that seller guy again. I don't know whatever happened to him. Maybe he went home and killed himself. I don't know. But the point is, Southeast Asia is getting tired of Westerners. They're tired of that kind of shit in every possible variation. That's what they see from Westerners. Certain countries attract a worse kind of Westerner. Philippines attracts a pretty bad type of Westerner, although they seem to be making some modest little efforts to get some of the worst ones out or keep them out or whatever. But had I known what the situation was, had I understood that situation at that time, I would have doused each and every one of them with their own beers and then offered to fight them. I mean, there was like 5 of them. They're all fat. They're all 85 years old. They're all diabetic. They're all weak. I'd probably get 3 of them with each punch, But I'm just, I want the Southeast Asians to know, and I'm in Philippines right now. I want the Filipinos to know. I want them to understand that there are good Westerners and there are bad Westerners. Not too many good ones, mostly bad ones. But I want them to understand that decent Westerners with manners and a sense of decency understand what they're going through with these stupid expat / sexpat pieces of shit who come to these countries and just rape it in every possible way. And I want the indigenous people of Southeast Asia to understand that lots and lots and lots of us, well, I don't know if it's lots and lots, there's quite a few of us, Westerners, who are sick and bloody tired of this shit. We're fighting mad over this shit. We're ready to take them to blows. I just want the indigenous people, the Filipinos, the Thais, the Burmese, the Laotians, the whoever, the Khmer, the Vietnamese, I want them to know that, yeah, you got plenty of shit people in your society, but the Western countries got plenty of shit people in their societies too, and lots of them are coming to your countries. And it's okay to hate the assholes, because there's plenty of assholes coming to your countries. But keep an eye open for the decent ones, because there are a few, there's a handful of decent ones, and they will stand up for you, and they will help you, and they appreciate you allowing them to come to your country. They appreciate it, they do. I do. And when people pull this shit on you, now that I've been here multiple decades, when people pull this shit on you, and if I see it, I will stand up for you. God damn it, I will. Because I'm sick of it. I left Western countries to get away from these assholes, and here I am 8, 9, 10,000 miles away. And here they are again, you know, so I'm tired of them. Oh, that's a nice little scooter. I wish I had that. I might have to buy one, but then I'd get fat. Okay, so the story of what happened to this poor guy with the stupid mosquito swatter is not an uncommon story. It plays out, I don't know, in that one little town probably plays out 5,000 or 10,000 times per day. And I saw quite a bit of it just in that one little town. I was sitting in a cafe one night, outdoor-ish cafe. It was a one-sided cafe. One evening about 8 o'clock, and a guy comes in, and I never did figure out where he was from. He might have been Middle Eastern. I think he was Middle Eastern. And there was one table left in the entire restaurant, and an old, hard-working Thai guy was headed right for it, and he got to the table, and he got his hands on the back of a chair. We're just getting ready to pull the chair out so he could sit in that chair and sit down and eat. And this other guy, the Middle Eastern guy, whoever the hell he was, walked up to the Thai guy and shoved him so hard he almost went down. And then that guy took his chair. And I was instantly white hot. Instantly. And we did come to a physical altercation. And I don't regret it one bit. And the Middle Eastern guy, or whatever the hell he was, got the message that there were people in the world who would not stand for this goddamn shit. And at his next opportunity, I don't know what he did somewhere in his life, in the next day or the next week. I don't know if he chose differently or more wisely. But Southeast Asia, the people tend to be mostly docile and accommodating and polite. There's one reason I like them, which is one reason I've lived here for so long and don't want to leave. And the assholes who come were assholes. I'm sorry, they're assholes. They're assholes. Not all of them, but way, way, way too many of them. So just please, people of Southeast Asia, realize that not all Western sexpat pieces of shit are like that. Lots and lots of them are, okay? Take them in an alley and do what you want. and I'll take the pictures and I'll cover your faces and I'll put it on YouTube. But okay, that's enough of my rant. I'm just venting on this shit because I see this in the Philippines also. Okay, that was the Insta 360, what the hell is it? What model is this thing? Insta 360 Go 3. And it crapped due to overheating, which is a major problem with all of these old cameras and why so many people hate them and why so many people want alternatives. But anyway, it crapped at the very end of that, so I just wanted to conclude it naturally. I just want people to understand, Southeast Asians to understand that there are people who like them, there are people who will protect them. Not enough. There's not enough of us, but there are some of us. So next time some asshole from the West pulling some stupid shit, I got a million of these stories and I'm going to tell them as we go along, but next time you see some asshole pulling this shit on your own people, try to stand up to them. If you can't, call the police. If the police don't show up, look around for another expat who is sympathetic to your cause, and he'll probably go stomp the asshole. And they should, and I hope they do, and I'll help them. Okay, that's it. I gotta let this thing cool down for 2 hours. You film for 12 minutes and then you gotta cool for 2 hours. Jeez.